Welcome back to Living the Run, your radio show for everything health and fitness. I'm your new host, filling in for the great originator, the innovator, the creator of Living the Run, Ryan Ferran. I get lucky to sit next to a voice you were all so familiar with the last 18 months, year and a half. Former decathlete and Olympia in 2004, Mr. Paul Terek. Thanks for joining me, Paul.
Yeah, I got to correct you, though. You're not really filling in. You're more replacing. It's not a fill-in. Ryan's not calling. He's not out for a week or two. He is gone, and the show hosting duties fall on your shoulders now.
Well, they may very well, but I got to say that at least the spirit of Ryan Ferran will linger at least for a little while. I know, Paul, maybe we'll even get Ryan in as a guest caller one time. He can get a little interview with you.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking to heckle him from the other side of the microphone this time. It'll be a new change for me. But hey, before we get too far, I want to thank you for keeping the show running. I know our listeners out there are a little confused. I mean, a couple weeks ago it was, we're done, we're packing up, Ryan's moving south, we'll see you later. We know you heard the news, you were excited to, you didn't want to see the show go, you were excited to keep it going. I know you talked to Ryan, and he managed to talk you into starting the show back up and getting it going. So I just wanted to say thanks. I know there's a lot of people out there, maybe 8, 9, 10 people at least, that are thankful you're doing that.
Well, Paul, Ryan told me that there's over 1,800 on Facebook, and this is still alive for you listeners that used it in the past. We still are on livingtherun.com. You can find us on facebook.com as well as twitter.com. And thanks for saying that, Paul. We wanted to keep this thing going. I got a passion for health and fitness, and there's no reason to let this thing go. I know the SLO community was truly embracing it, but I think that the true thanks does come to Ryan Ferran. Ryan had a passion himself a year and a half ago. He wanted to talk about things, everything health and fitness. He knew that the SLO community really was a leader in this country when it comes down to health and longevity. And heck, you probably remember back not too long ago in Parade Magazine there, Paul, they talked about SLO being one of the happiest places on earth, including North America.
Yeah, why do they gotta let the secret out of the bag, man? You don't tell people that, because then people are gonna come here. We don't want people coming here and staying. They can come visit, enjoy some of the local activities, enjoy some of the wine in the restaurants we have, but then go. Don't tell them it's the happiest place. They're gonna want to move here.
Well, Paul, that's precisely it, and that's why we started that show back up again this week. The whole idea is that people are going to be inundating this town with the first annual ever SLO marathon coming up on April 22nd, this Sunday. And so what we're looking at is Samantha Pruitt, who will be on the show in just a little bit. It'll be a great interview, a can't-miss thing for you listeners. And what we're looking at is a future event, even possibly a qualifier for things like the Boston Marathon and big marathons in the future. So this thing's going to be on the map, Paul, whether you like it or not.
It's not whether I like it or not. I mean, hey, if somebody wants to go run a marathon, more power to them. I can applaud their efforts, but I know you're gonna pick right up where Ryan left off, and you're gonna try to goad me into a half marathon or something silly like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my foot down now and say that the full marathon will not happen, and it will be a long time and a cold day down south before a half marathon ever happens. So I want to squash that bug before it gets crawling.
Well, as a former athlete myself, always playing with the ball, I never thought
right.
that I'd be...
Sixth grade dodgeball champion, that's right. You former athlete. You tell us about it.
Well, using the ball was always the thing, and I never thought I'd find myself running in a half marathon or a full marathon, but maybe we should lay down the gauntlet right now, Mr. Terek, and put a bet out there. I'm going to put the half marathon on this Sunday, and I'm going to do my best there, but I'll even give you a year to train for that second annual next year, and let's just say this. How about winner pays the others sign-up fees?
Winner pay. I'm gonna win the sign-up fee next year, so then you won't have to pay anything.
Well, I didn't know about there was any freebies coming into this one. I missed that boat, but
well, I'm planning on the show doing well and us having a good relationship with the race director, and then maybe she'll offer us some prizes like spots in the marathon, and I plan on winning one of those. Because I'm not going to put that limitation on myself that says friends and affiliates with the station can't win. I'm going to make sure I have a chance to win that.
Well, hey, as a former tremendous athlete yourself, I think one thing to ask right off the bat, we're looking at San Luis Obispo, one of the nicest places on earth, some of the greatest weather, some of the greatest surroundings and environment we could think about for a race. I know you competed a ton on different tracks and in different places. What were some of your most fun places to compete, Paul?
honestly, I've been to a lot of big stadiums and a lot of bigger countries where track and field was more embraced. But I think the greatest place I ever competed, I just loved the place and I loved the athletes. Cuba, I stand by it. Cuba was probably one of the greatest competitions in terms of there was a camaraderie among the athletes, and the fans were really into it. The facilities down there were a little less than we'll say acceptable, but they made they made do with what they had, and they put on a great meet, and I would go back there tomorrow if I got the phone call to.
Interesting you say Cuba there. This is we're on Living the Run right now. I'm your new host, Rex Stevens, alongside former Olympian Paul Terek. We're talking about favorite places to compete and talking about this upcoming slow marathon, April 22nd here, first annual in San Luis Obispo. I don't know if you ever saw the documentary Sicko, Paul. But anyway, if you looked at what Michael Moore was saying, he kind of mentioned that Cuba was one of the better places to get health care. Do you agree?
Luckily, I didn't have to get health care while I was down there. But, I will say this about Cuba, that this is, and I'll tell everyone I ever meet about this, they value, they know the secret. They value personal relationships. Our ridiculous U.S. economic policy and the politics behind all that, it's kept Cuba like in the 1960s, and only recently have they been able to trade with countries and have some sort of economy with countries that do business with the U.S. because of embargoes. And the thing is, because they haven't had, they didn't have material goods. There wasn't a materialistic idea down there. They didn't, it wasn't, I'm going to go buy something that's going to give me happiness. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get a new outfit, or I'm going to go buy a new car, or I'm going to go buy this, because you can't buy things. It doesn't. The thing that was crazy down there, and this was weird, is a guitar player. Find a guitar player in Cuba and see if he has a set of extra strings. It would be rare to find a guy who has. You see a lot of guys playing like 3-string guitars, and the reason is, I think there's only 3 or 4 guitar string manufacturers in the world, and most of them are in the U.S. And so they couldn't do any business with Cuba, and so it was a rarity that they would be able to find something like that. But anyways, the point is, the Cuban culture they love personal relationships. Everyone down there that I met, pretty much everyone was fit. They did a lot of walking. They were very active. They led active lifestyles. Everything was in moderation, just because they don't have a lot. And I really dig that. It should be an example for everybody else.
Hey, for those of you non-Republican and non-Democrats out there looking to vote independent, I think that was a pitch for Paul Terek 2012. That was Paul Terek 2012. One of the big things we're going to be talking about, of course, in the 2012 campaign is health, and that's what this show, Living the Run, you can find us on livingtherun.com.
Oh, we don't need to talk about it, man. We don't need to talk about health. Obama's going to tell you what kind of health you're going to get, and you're going to love it. That's what you're going to like. You're going to get certain health, and that's what you're going to get, and you're going to like it. That's what it's going to be here. Well, you think this ain't a democracy? It is. Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
You made mention of the folks in Cuba, and they moved around and they were active. They had a slightly different lifestyle than here. We were just seeing patients in the clinic, and the electricity went out. And the electricity went out for a couple hours. And the one thing that I was thinking the whole time was, what would this town do if there was no electricity? And the reality is we'd move a heck of a lot more. And so activity levels would go up clearly, maybe 2-3 fold for most people. And I think what you'd see there, Paul, is you'd see an increase in people's health and fitness, and it'd be a start in the right direction. Yeah,
I think so. You know what? The one thing that drives me nuts, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners can agree, if the power ever goes out, which it is kind of a rarity here, we have pretty mild weather. When you go someplace and they can't ring you up for something, it's like it costs $1.75. I'm gonna give you $2. You give me a quarter back. Oh well, I can't ring you up. It's the register, the electricity's down. Okay, well I'm gonna give you $2 anyways. And you just go ahead and give me a quarter, and when it comes back up, you just charge it. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do it. It's like business ceases. Life stops for people. Or if they can't calculate correct change, oh man, you've given me $40 for a $34.28 bill. I don't know what to do here. I can't calculate that.
But Paul, that's what it's all about here. Is that these people are too sedentary, and it's one of the topics we'll talk about in the healthcare system. Is in getting healthy. Is how do you get that brain a little bit more active? How do you get those synapses going so that you can do that simple math of taking that $2, subtracting $1.75, and handing over a quarter without a computer? And these are real important things. And I know things get even a little bit more complex than that. But the evidence and the research is clear hear over and over and over again is those people that are moving and are active really, really have a high firing brain and are able to make those quick decisions and healthy decisions